Guys, deluded, I'm back again, man. Obviously, we've just beaten Lazio 2 goals to nil in our penultimate pre-season game, and it's a good look. I mean, I'm pretty sure we lost to Brentford. No one got to watch that game like cruelly, and obviously we lost on penalties to Atletico Madrid, I believe. But what we beat Chelsea, have beaten Lazio, beaten Bournemouth. Feel good factor. We've small, bringing in, trying to implement what Unai Emery's trying to do on the football pitch and all of them things. But one theme that's been, well, I've definitely been vocal about our defence or lack of quality defenders, not to get at anybody, and how we're shaping up defensively. Now, obviously, to implement an actual want, and I say want because our team hasn't typically for years wanted to defend, to get that want to defend, to get that hunger to defend from the front and back, and all of them things there, it's going to take a while. So I'm not talking about that today. The personnel now, specifically the centre halves, it's been a constant theme. Who is our best centre half? What are our centre half in pairing? Guys, you know me. I like to think outside the box. I've been tossing and turning in my head. How do we line up? Do we go for experience? I mean, on paper, again, don't think about their ability for a second. But on paper, you'd like to think if it was a penultimate game where it's a must-win, for instance, Liechtenstein, Socrates, Koscielny slash Mustafi, Monreal, Leno will check at the back. These players are more or less pensioners. They're seasoned pros. They've played however many appearances between them, represented their country, them sort of things there. You'd think that'd be a competent defence. But you've seen, and again, I'm not getting at Socrates, he's just joined the club, but he doesn't look convincing. Mustafi, since he's put on an Arsenal shirt, bar a couple spells of good form, has not looked convincing. The rest, especially the young ones, they look good and then they look a bit iffy and they're all rough diamonds of sorts. So it's either that. The young ones who I actually have more faith in, again, I don't want to say they're untested because Chambers in particular has played a lot. But if you're counting on the Chambers, the Holdings, the Mavropanos, they're all rough diamonds. They make me more comfortable watching them, and I don't know why, but they're all rough diamonds. Obviously, on the basis of what I've said about Liechtenstein experience, Bellerin's really stagnated. As much as I like him, he's stagnated, but he gives us a bit more than Liechtenstein are going forward to a degree. So who do we actually play against City, or who is our best centre halves? Obviously, Mavropanos has got his potential as well. Forgot to name him, but he, on the basis of being involved in pre-season, I'm just, again, this isn't facts, but I'm inclined to believe currently he's last in the pecking order, whether you want to believe that or not. So what is our best pairing? I mean, Monreal's not really featured any part of this pre-season, but on the basis that he's played centre half before and we're in dire needs, even because I'm a creative person, that's even going through my head. So if we don't sign a centre half, which looks like the reality, how do we move forward with our centre half in pairing? Like, who starts? For me, I'm gonna give it to Chambers at this moment in time. I'd probably put Chambers, and I'd probably just about go with Mustafi, to be fair with you, or just on the basis of Socrates hasn't really looked convincing. Holding, I love Holding, but I don't really want to start both of them together until they're a bit more competent. Even though in pre-season they've looked a bit more mature. Obviously Socrates and Mavropanos is a centre half pairing that eventually will be deployed, whether it's in a cup game, but that's still untested. Obviously we've still got Mustafi and Koscielny. There's a you could say Mustafi and Socrates. There's a whole bunch of pairings you can sit and make. But definitely in regards to the City game, just on the basis of my current thinking after the Lazio game, I'd probably say Chambers in the middle. Chambers definitely play in the middle. I'm probably, even though he hadn't featured today, I'll probably go with Mustafi just about. Left back, you probably have to go Maitland-Niles. I'd want to go with Monreal purely because Maitland-Niles isn't a left back. He does his thing there. He had a good game against Salah last year there. He offers something going forward. He's very calm on the ball, but he shows many tendencies and naiveties that someone who plays fullback wouldn't do. He's a central midfielder, so there's natural instincts that and enable him to do certain things. Like, he's unaware at times of runners. At times he could stop the cross, but the man's not a fullback. He might very well be a fullback one day in the future, but he's not a fullback now. So I'd probably go with Maitland-Niles, but you'd ideally want to go with Monreal. Left back, fullback at right back at better yet is where I have problems because my brain wants me to go with Bellerin. He's had more of a pre-season and things like that, and obviously he got ripped by Hudson-Odoi, but just on the basis of pace. But part of me wants to go with Liechtenstein. Now, if Liechtenstein gets burned and left for dead versus the pace of City and gets roughed up and then things, people might say, why did you want to play him and things? But just on the basis of street smartness, of experience, and what he's shown today, if he's not, I don't expect him to be able to a madness going forward, but it's just one more street smart defender on the pitch. That could be one more defender staying back in the position that they're supposed to. That could be, instead of 3 versus 3, 4v4. And we really need to the City have great individuals on the ball, but what they do off the ball, or better yet, what the opposition doesn't do off the ball, is what makes the difference and what grants them victory. Again, I'll preview the game next week, but in regards to the lineup, currently I'm thinking, I actually got a part of me wants to go three at the back. Part of me actually wants to go three at the back, two up front. But something's just telling me 4-3-3. Obviously, I ain't got enough things, so this is our strike force. But defense, Leno and Czech, I'm not too sure, because Leno played alright today, and I feel Czech, regardless of what I feel about how he's performed last year, I felt he's been doing all he can to start the season, at least in goal, and he's looked agile and fit and them things. And obviously, Czech is still Czech. He's known these players slightly more. Obviously, players are going to get thrown in at the deep end, but I want to be a bit easy. So Leno and Czech, I'm undecided. I'll probably go with Czech at this moment in time, but I'll probably change to Leno. Centre half, apologies for not holding this properly. Centre half, like I said, Chambers and Mustafi for me. Probably, like, they've worked together. Both, well, Chambers is slightly cooler head. You like to think they get it right. So Czech in goal, Chambers and Mustafi. Left back Maitland-Niles or Monreal if he's fit. Either one. Right back is where I have at this moment in time. I'm actually going to go with Liechtenstein, but that probably will change to Bellerin. Midfield, I'm going with Torreira, Xhaka, Ramsey if he's fit, but I'm so tempted to throw a wild card out there and play Gudezi in that role, to be fair with you. Up front, Mesut Ozil, Aubameyang and Lacazette. But in real time, as people go off and do their thing, obviously Ozil will come inside and it will become more 4-3-3 like such. Pressing from the front, Ozil will have the freedom. Obviously, Torreira will drop deep for the ball. These man should split. Gudesi's decent on the ball. Ramsey will make his runs. So you see how space can be made for people. Immediately, people, I've made space. To recap that, if I went too fast, Torreira, Xhaka / Ramsey. I mean, Gudesi / Ramsey, Xhaka, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Ozil. Sorry. They could either press like this, or Ozil, what I want him to do, come off that and allow them to have the freedom of that. So if both want to drop, they can drop, but I want that. So then Ozil has freedom. These lot squeeze, you pick it up. You see how things can do, how things can be. Apologies for not holding that properly, people, but it's very hard. So yeah, my opinions will change probably in my next video when I officially preview us versus Man City, but I felt I owed it to you guys, at least my thinking at this current moment in time, to be fair with you. Liechtenstein and Bellerin is something I'm really having a hard time on, because Bellerin's had more of a pre-season. Liechtenstein might get burnt for pace and we can't draw too many conclusions, but he did look good. Left back, if Monreal's remotely fit, I'd be inclined to play him there, but Maitland-Niles looks like he'll start there in my opinion, and he gives us something going forward. Defensively, it's a bit, he does alright, he does what he can, but yeah, man, centre half, there's clouds over that as well. In fact, if you're honest, we know our lineup, but we don't know our lineup. So yeah, man, guys, deluded, get in the comments, subscribe and do the rest. I'm out, man. Thank you for watching. There's not much more to be said on that front. I'm out.